Hey guys, it's your boy D Valo back with some more boxing. Anthony Collar has said yesterday after winning his fight against Anthony Collar that he would love to fight this guy in front of me. This is Vasyl Lomenchenko. If you didn't know, Anthony Collar would love to fight him, and he says that he's faster than him. If you didn't know already, this is Vasyl Lomenchenko. They're calling him high tech because this guy's had 329 fights in amateur before he turned pro. He has a vast amount of experience. He really is a cut above the rest. But with only 7 fights and 1 lost, he's not that experienced within the pro ranks. But he will be fighting Jason Sosa, who's had 20 wins and 1 lost, next month on the 8th of April. So, Vasyl Lomenchenko versus Jason Sosa. This is the fight that's coming up. Now, I said before that I've done an earlier video about Vasyl Lomenchenko. But just if you want to see that fight between him and Waters, go check it out. But as I said, he's had loads of experience in the amateur fights. He's probably had the best amateur career possible, and he is very skilled. I feel the best thing about this guy is his footwork. His footwork is bar to none, and which means that he finds angles to beat you. And if you haven't seen that fight, go check it out. I've made a video of it, Vasyl Lomenchenko versus Nicholas Waters, and that was a very good fight where he just outmaneuvered Nicholas Waters, who was an up-and-coming in the super featherweight division. He was a big puncher, but he couldn't manage to touch this guy because his footwork is so good. Now, when I said that this guy's inexperienced, he won the WBO featherweight title back in 2014 from Gary Russell Jr. when it was vacant, and he's defended that WBO featherweight title 5 times. So even though he's inexperienced, he's been a world champion. He's already a world champion who's defended it 5 times. It's crazy, isn't it? But anyway, so his opponent, Jason Sosa. This guy, I've watched his fights, and you know what, to be honest, I don't think he matches up to Vasyl Lomenchenko's skills. Jason Sosa is kind of wild. He has a kind of like an awkward, unpredictable sort of style, but predictable in a way. Unpredictable in the fact that he kind of lunges in. He's orthodox, he's quite short. You don't know which shot he's going to throw first. Is it the left or the right? And he managed to, when he does get knockouts, he just means he's always against guys which don't have much footwork. I don't really rate his footwork and his spatial awareness. He doesn't really move around the ring very well. He just kind of stalks his opponents down. They can't really, and they kind of just got their guard up, no footwork, end up in the corner and get barraged with shots. But saying that though, he has got powerful hands, and he manages to knock out his guy. His fighters. His most toughest fight by far was against Javier Fortuna, and when he's against more skilled opponents, he has trouble because Fortuna didn't get knocked out. Knocked this guy down, Jason Sosa, in the earlier rounds because he's quite elusive and he's got a good defense, and purely because he's got good footwork as well. He has a kind of like Javier Fortuna. I'd say he's got like a poor man's Mayweather kind of sort of style, but he kind of, with that kind of footwork and moving around the ring, it saved him from being knocked out that quick. But so Jason Sosa, I don't really rate him too tough, but he's got an awkward kind of style. Can he beat Vasyl Lomenchenko? No. Straight up, no. I wanted to just talk about both of these guys first, to just get you, let you guys know about it. But I've talked about Vasyl Lomenchenko before, and you've probably heard of him before. But him and Sosa, I think he's gonna beat Sosa. He might even knock this guy out because, as I said before, Vasyl Lomenchenko's footwork is bar to none. He always finds a way to get around you. It's like he's very good with feints. He hits you when you don't expect, and he also steps around you. And it's like he always he's always spinning you around. You're always like, he hits you and then he's like on behind you, and you're like, what the fuck? How did this guy do it? It's like they're calling him high tech, but he's really a cut above the rest. Really some futuristic movement he's got going on there. But I haven't seen anyone with as good as footwork with him. I've seen slick footwork, but not footwork like Vasyl Lomenchenko. He is very good at what he does. Is he untouchable? No. I don't think he's untouchable, but I don't think Jason Sosa is going to be the one to really trouble him. Which leads me back onto my point about Jorge Linares saying that he wants Vasyl Lomenchenko. Now, Vasyl Lomenchenko is at featherweight, and he fights at featherweight or super featherweight. And Linares is at lightweight. So would he come up? I'm not sure. I think he'd rather clean out his division and unify the belts before he moves up. But Anthony Crawler, George Linares has expressed his interest that he would like to fight him, and he says he's faster than this guy. Now, saying you're faster than this guy is a big statement because these two are quite skilled opponents. But if anyone's to say it, George Linares is very quick, and in that fight against Crawler, he was really quick. But I don't know if that's because of Crawler's style, and he doesn't really throw much punches. So against someone who's quite quick, it makes the guy look like he's moving like Dash from Incredibles. You know what I mean? Like so fast, you know. But he is quite quick. So him saying that he's quicker than Vasyl Lomenchenko remains to be seen. The only way we could find that out is if these two had a fight. But I don't know if that fight will happen, but that would be a good fight, these two, if Vasyl Lomenchenko was to go up. Because in this featherweight division, you got Vasyl Lomenchenko, and you got a few others there. Nicholas Waters, but Nicholas Waters, if you haven't seen that fight, I did a video about it, and Vasyl Lomenchenko basically made this guy quit. Nicholas Waters was a up-and-coming big puncher, 20 wins. He mainly fought in Jamaica. He mainly fought foreign people. But it's like he never did his homework about Vasyl Lomenchenko, and Vasyl Lomenchenko outboxed him in every single round. Knocked his head back each time, and made Waters quit. Made Waters quit on his seat. He didn't want anymore. I blamed it on an injury, but anyway. So if you don't do your homework about this guy, you will lose. I don't think Jason Sosa is going to underestimate him, but I don't think he has the skills to beat him. I'm saying that it's going to be either a stoppage. Jason Sosa, he's elusive and he's quite unpredictable, but I think Lomachenko will work him out. But the thing is that about Vasyl Lomachenko is he's had 7 fights and 1 loss, and with such a massive amateur career, with winning so many fights, you would have thought that he would breeze through all of his opponents. But the guy that he lost to, and I've talked about this in one of my earlier vids, was very experienced and hit him with a body shot. So I would say he is vulnerable to body shots because he's constantly trying to move around you. So when he's trying to move around you, it's going to be hard. The only person that could really trouble him is someone that has as good as footwork as him. But the only way to trouble this guy is your footwork has to be good as well. And his angles which he punches you at is good as well. So you have to be just relentless with your attack, but thoughtful, and be able to not let him bully you around the ring, because you can have all the movement you want, but if you're not actually hurting the guy you're fighting, then it's going to be quite hard for you to win the fight. Just look at that English. This is quickly a bit off topic, but it's a similar sort of thing. Yesterday I watched this guy Jason Wellborn versus Morrison, and Morrison was the big matchroom guy, and he's the much bigger guy, but he was just kind of pop shot, and then the guy with more work rate won. Now Vasyl Lomachenko has got a lot of work rate and got good movement, so I wouldn't compare him to that, but I would say that a lot of movement is very good, but you got to have the work rate to back it. And if he's punching a bigger guy he's not hurting him and not hurting them, then the fight could turn another way. That's not really a good comparison to that Wellborn fight, because Wellborn beat the bigger guy with work rate, but that's just because he had loads of punches and he managed to hurt Morrison. But anyway, I only think that a guy that has similar skills in the footwork region, in the footwork area, will be able to really trouble this guy, because he doesn't have to knock you out to outbox you. Just ask Nicholas Waters. Nicholas Waters has also had a fight with Jason Sosa, and Jason Sosa beat him by majority decision. But as I said, Jason Sosa, when he comes against kind of skilled opponents, like Nicholas Waters is not terrible, but he's not as good as Vasyl Lomachenko. So when he comes against skilled opponents, he struggles. So even though he won a majority decision against Nicholas Waters, this is Sosa I'm talking about, he couldn't knock him out or anything like that, you know what I mean? So Vasyl Lomachenko is the guy in featherweight. The big things for him, I think, when he moves up, but will he move up? I don't know. I saw a recent interview of him, he was talking about that attack on his chest, on his shoulders, like, no, I don't like it. It's a mistake. He wants to get rid of it, but I think his tattoos are kind of cool. He's got a tattoo of his dad there. Man's got a tattoo of his dad, you know, bro. But yeah, if you go check this guy out, if you don't know about him, go watch him. He was an amateur champion and he was a child prodigy. Like, he's been fighting since a little kid. So anyway, 8th of April, Vasyl Lomenchenko versus Jason Sosa. But really, he should be fighting Jorge. Check it out. It's your boy D Valo. If you're watching this video, make sure you give me a like. Who do you think Vasyl Lomenchenko should fight? Do you think he should be fighting Jason Sosa? Because Jason Sosa, I think maybe in this video I've been talking about him, saying he's this and he's that, he's not as good. Truth is, he's not as good, but he's not a walkover, you know what I mean? He's up there and he's rated. So what do you think about him? What do you think of his chances of winning this fight? What do you think of Vasyl Lomenchenko? Who should he fight? Do you think he should fight Easter Junior? Because I think he should fight Easter Junior, you know? I don't know if they're in the same weight class. They are in the same weight class. Or do you think he should fight... No, I think they're in a different weight class, you know? Or do you think he should fight Gervonta Davis? Because I know he's in the same class. You think that's the right time for them? Do you think Mayweather will put him in there? But drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think about this guy. Yeah, so drop it in the comments and let me know what you think. Vasyl Lomenchenko versus Jason Sosa and the whole Linares thing. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Do you think Linares has a chance? Do you think Linares could beat Vasyl Lomenchenko? Do you think that fight would even happen? Where would it be? You know what I mean? Drop it in the comments and let me know what you think. It's your boy D Valo and I'm out. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy D Valo and I'm out.